A very warm welcome back to your latest industry recap. We have exciting news surrounding the A321XLR, a new route announcement, and a budget European carrier reporting quite a significant loss. Want to begin there. Wizz Air stating that they lost 241 million euros in the third quarter of the fiscal year 2025, which ended on the 31st of December 2024. Many shouldn't be surprised by the substantial loss. I think most would expect it. In recent years, the low-cost European carrier has struggled with many complexities across the business. Wizz Air blames its poor financial performance on factors such as engine issues that have led to aircraft groundings, with Pratt & Whitney the primary culprit of these troubles. Carrying 15.5 million passengers across the period mentioned, Wizz Air saw this an increase of 2.6%, with revenues increasing 10.5% to really reflect the additional passengers and other improvements that were seen. It wasn't all negative. However, there were still struggles visible through a drop in capacity, which was a 1.7% reduction, certainly visible through your available seat kilometers or ASKs, and a drop in available seats highlighted through groundings of the fleet. Wizz Air, however, said that load factors for its services, increased by 3.1 percentage points to 90.3. This is a very solid result, despite those ever-growing challenges, and reaffirms that people want to fly. It's just actually serving this demand that has been more of a challenge. Despite these figures, Wizz Air knows it still has a tough year ahead as it looks to continue battling engine-related issues that have kept aircraft on the ground and complicated the maintenance processes. Wizz Air continues to attempt to navigate these challenges. However, this well-documented geared turbofan problem affects 20% of the fleet at any given point, this percentage continuously reducing and growing depending on the situation at that exact time. While demand increased and there were strong positives in the passengers carried department, Wizz Air executives highlighted how this was difficult to really show because of the other related cost complications business-wide. For Wizz Air, difficulties surrounding its A320 family will continue for many years. The budget carrier recently confirmed that it would be forced to keep the aircraft grounded throughout 2025. However, that will likely continue now until 2030. It is certainly something that highlights the difficulties that are being experienced. Fresh comments airing at the beginning of the year at the Airline Economic Conference showed that the airline's view on these things will not really change. They think it's going to stay firm for 4 to 5 years. Slowly but surely, yes, the expectation is that pressures will ease and we will see a complete revision of these engine-related problems, but it will stick around for many more years. Wizz Air also confirmed that 40 planes would be grounded through 2026. This will likely continue therefore for a longer duration than what was first forecasted. These problems, unfortunately, they've become the new norm for our aviation industry, and airlines are forced to find ways to juggle these difficulties to limit the financial and also operational challenges that ensue. Over to some positive news, and that sits with French B, who have announced their debut in Quebec, Canada, with service to commence non-stop to Montreal on the 30th of April 2025. The French company will offer 4 weekly flights using its state-of-the-art Airbus A350. The aircraft, at least for them, has been championed as part of the next generation of commercial airliners and is certainly focused on not just offering brilliant performance, but for French B, they see it as crucial for aligning with sustainability goals. While French B can offer 4 weekly flights between Paris-Orly and Montreal Trudeau International, this will actually increase to 5 times per week for a 2-month period between July 4 and August 31 to capture the absolute peak summer season at this point, allowing Quebecers to discover Paris and broader France with greater connectivity options now possible. The service will take 7 hours and 30 minutes to complete and is a highly anticipated one. The expansion to Montreal also represents a broader growth plan for the airline with their intention to grow international long-haul services. They will offer service to to 7. French B says that strong demand has been seen not just in leisure but also business markets, and it has allowed the company to upgauge services and add new destinations to the route map where possible with what it feels to be limited risk. Moreover, ensuring that strong partnerships between Canada and France exist is crucial, and they feel that they're playing a fundamental role in making this happen, especially in Quebec. Therefore, French B knows its place and wants to really harness that. Founded in 2016, well, French B is still a relatively new company to our industry, one that's maybe flown under the radar, and you would be forgiven if you don't know too much about them, especially in the European sector. However, their core principle is to offer long-haul flights, all the while doing so at an affordable price. It'll be interesting to see how this route unfolds, just judging from demand and more. Over to the final story, and Icelandair has published its fourth quarter results for 2024, which certainly saw them focus a little bit more on the next generation of its fleet composition, which will focus in on Airbus aircraft, including the A321XLR. The XLR is Airbus's newest single-aisle aircraft entering commercial service at the end of 2024 after some delays. It's expected to contribute to Icelandair's fleet in the coming decades. An agreement you may recall was signed in 2023 for the airline to take on 13 XLRs with purchase rights for an additional 12 units. If the company, say, at some point feels it needs more aircraft, it can activate these later on. Following their latest quarterly results, they took the time to confirm that the first A321XLR would begin being delivered to them in 2029, so permitting that there will be no delays. Between now and the arrival of the extra long-ranged aircraft, Icelandair will be seen flying the A321LR, a more modest alternative that certainly still packs a punch across the network and offers fantastic opportunities for expansion. These next-gen Airbus aircraft are expected to replace the outgoing 757 fleet. While this Boeing aircraft has certainly remained a workhorse, well, the airline is absolutely no stranger to knowing that it needs to proceed with fleet renewal efforts for the greater good. Moving forward, well, the focus has been on improving efficiency and aligning the company with ongoing sustainability efforts. Welcoming in Airbus narrowbodies are also going to take place alongside the 737 MAX, which will aid all this. The A321LR that I speak of, it joined the network in December 2024. 3 additional LRs are expected to be delivered between now and the beginning of the summer season. Announcements such as the new route, which is expected to launch to Miami in the coming months with the LR, certainly highlight what these next generation aircraft with Airbus are truly going to be able to bring to Icelandair in the long term, and you would only imagine that when the eventual XLR is delivered, well, fresh new opportunities are going to present themselves. Icelandair has already touted flying to the west coast of North America, which is incredibly exciting to say the least, but we will have to remain patient while it is 4 years away before the aircraft will officially be delivered. I'm sure time will fly, and between now and then we will start to receive more tidbits of what the airline's plans are for this state-of-the-art single-aisle jet. Thank you very much for your support here on the channel. It is greatly appreciated. Please take care. Do also be safe, and I'll see you next time for your next industry recap.
And we'll fly.